The Rangers were scheduled to take part in a competition, a money-spinning tournament in Australia during the winter break. The Ange Homecoming tour has attracted a lot of interest both in Scotland and in Australia. But due to pressures from the Sevco support, they surrendered and withdrew, leaving their fans in Australia with tickets to Celtic Friendlies. The gift that keeps giving. Celtic will take on Legia Warsaw later this month, after being invited by the club to celebrate Artur Boruc's career. The former Celtic goalkeeper has hung up his gloves, but will go in goals one last time during a match in his honour. The Polish goalkeeper was signed from Legia by Gordon Strachan back in the day and quickly made himself number one at the club. As you find with a lot of goalkeepers, he was a bit mad, and Celtic fans loved him for it. As the two sides get set to meet in the friendly tie, Legia has released a limited edition Artur Boruc t-shirt. Do we really think that Ham will be a friendly game? Who remembers the carnage when we played then in Edinburgh, at the home of rugby? With the World Cup taking place in November, an early winter break has been penciled in for the Scottish clubs and the rest of Europe as the Stars take their place at the tournament in Qatar. Celtic have signed up to play the friendlies in Australia. The move is said to net Celtic more money than prize money from winning the Cinch Premiership. The Sevco were scheduled to take part in the competition, but due to pressures from their support, they surrendered and withdrew, leaving their fans in Australia with tickets to Celtic Friendlies. The fallout from their decision to withdraw looks set to continue, but they were always only ever a support act. It will be interesting to see who is announced, as the club will use the break to maintain levels ahead of the return to action. It's set to be a massive season at Celtic Park, with a return to the Champions League group stage coming up. There's still an element of head-scratching to be done where Ange Postecoglou and Celtic are concerned. As a matter of fact, it's difficult to fathom just how on earth one man can have taken this club so far in such a short space of time, having willingly run into harm's way just 12 months ago, while Eddie Howe was leaving a trail of dust in the opposite direction. Somehow, having arrived at the scene of a car crash last summer, Postecoglou is currently overseeing a wax and polish job on a squad he rebuilt almost in the blink of an eye, while preparing to take it on a lap of honour in the Champions League. None of this ought to have been remotely close to being possible. But if we have learned anything about this big Aussie over his first year in Scottish football, it's surely that he revels in catching people completely by surprise. That's going to be a hard job this time around, though, now that he has unmasked himself as a manager of serious credentials. And yet the serenity of this summer's transfer activity suggests that Postecoglou has got Celtic's ducks in a row already ahead of what would ordinarily prove to be a difficult second season. Far from the frantic scattergun recruitment drive of this time last year, the champions have been able to build from a position of strength. They have tied down Cameron Carter-Vickers, Jota, and Daizen Maeda on permanent deals after bringing them in on loan last season. Benji Siegrist has been added to the group to provide Joe Hart with some genuine competition for the number 1 shirt, and Argentinian youngster Alexandre Bernabei should offer an exciting option at left-back. Celtic have quietly gone about the business of splashing out somewhere in the region of £17 million to cement the foundations which Postecoglou laid down so hurriedly last summer. And it does feel as if this rebuild is just about complete. And right now the Australian appears to be the gift that keeps on giving. But Postecoglou's next trick is likely to be the most demanding yet. Somehow he has to find a way of tweaking his team, and perhaps revisiting his own philosophy in order to make Celtic fit for purpose in the Champions League. We are in it, that's all that matters. Get us past Christmas in the group stages, and he will be a legend. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to